Welcome back to episode 13 of Project X, where we're taking you on a journey with us to find private label product opportunities, teaching you along the way so that you can build your own business using these same simple methods. Now, in the last episode, we walked you through a lot of the theory and tactics about product launches, including a unique two-step process that this gentleman here, Tim, uses. So if you haven't seen that yet, I recommend watching that first. Now, in this episode, what are they in store for in this episode?
Finally, some results. We've been talking for actually months now, right? Releasing these episodes, talking about what should happen. And in this episode, we're actually going to show you what has happened. It's going to be epic.
All right, we're gonna show you exactly what we did for the coffin shelf launch that we were able to do about 3 weeks ago. And we're gonna see some of these early results that are very promising from that. We're gonna show you the step-by-step process. How did we even get to that point? What part of that was landing on the beach, as we talked about in the last episode? Now, what's the next step so that we can get to the castle? Have we even gotten to the castle on something? We're gonna show you guys that in this episode as well. So, my name is Bradley Sutton. I am the Director of Training here at Helium 10. I'm joined by
Tim Jordan from the Private Label Legion.
Welcome to episode 13 of Project X. All right, now if you'd like a written version of this episode, be sure to go to helium10.com/X13. That's helium10.com/X13. Now, as we always do, we start off with a question of the day for you viewers on YouTube or wherever you might be viewing this. We want you guys to put your answer in the comments below. Tim, what question do you have for them?
The question that I have is going back to the last episode. From the last episode, what was the most shocking thing or eye-opening thing, if you are already an Amazon seller, about our methods for launching? What was most surprising to you and what kind of changed your perspective the most? All right, so as you guys know, this was not a case study or a project to show you how to sell your first $1 million on Amazon. This was not a method to show you super expensive ways to launch and rank and sell tons of volume. What the entire purpose of this project was is to show you that you don't have to have a ton of money, you don't have to have a ton of experience, you don't have to be a designer, a creator, a patent holder. There are so many opportunities for products that are in demand with low competition, that fly below the radar, where we don't have massive hijacker problems and massive competition. It's relatively easy. And because it's so easy, we can do this time after time after time after time again. So we're about to start showing you some of the results of the coffin box. And let me tell you, it pretty much happened exactly like we said it would. It didn't start out with a huge bang, but we didn't have to dump a ton of money into it. We didn't start off with 50 sales a day because we knew this is a lower volume item. It was going to be that way. But we've consistently had growth. Some of the results that we're about to show you in the first 3 weeks are really incredible. We were actually shocked at how well some of this stuff turned out. But we're only showing you this to show you that the methods work, that you can take this off in small bite-sized chunks. And because it's so easy per product, you can replicate product after product after product after product. So even if you only have a product that's selling 10 or 12 or 15 units a day, do it across 10 SKUs. If you lose one SKU, one gets suspended, a hijacker comes on, that's fine. You've only lost, 1 or 10%, like one of your listings. So this method really works, and I can't wait to show you some of these results.
All right, guys, the first thing I want to show you guys, this is our first 3 to 4 weeks of sales here, all right? 119 orders. So this was what we got to. We're on that beach, all right? So Tim, what I want to do maybe is, should we show them the launch part first, or maybe show them all the things that we set up before that launch?
Let's maybe show them more of the results.
Okay.
Let's talk about actually what's happening. And then what we'll do is we'll talk about the methods of how we did it. So we'll talk about how we got on that beach. And really, we're still in beach mode. We haven't really tried to storm the castle on some of these big keywords. Some of them we hit accidentally. And then what we'll do is we'll go and show you some of the maintenance operations that we're actually going to go into now as this listing continues to progress and sell more and grow. All right. So as you know, the entire objective with Amazon is not to sell products, it's to sell
keywords.
Keywords are key. Did you like that joke? All right. So the way to analyze the success of a launch, aside from just how many units did we sell, more importantly, it's where are we ranking on keyword page placement, right? So if you remember, we really were going to focus on these long tail keywords, coffin shelf, coffin bookcase, all these long tail things, and eventually we'd go on some of the short tail keywords. So right now, Bradley's going to walk you through Keyword Tracker. Keyword Tracker is one of the tools in Helium 10 that's going to basically give us an analysis of how we've done, right? And remember, this does not have anything to do with these big, impressive rocket launch, systems. This is very simple. These are the things that we talked about in the last episode. And let's get the rundown on how we did.
All right, so what we suggest doing, which is exactly what we did, is when you did all of your keyword research initially, whether you're using Magnet, Cerebro, those other tools, I forgot what episode that was in already, but go back and check that. If you haven't watched that episode, look for our keyword research episode, and then we put everything together. I set aside those main keywords that I could see were definitely driving sales to that competitor. Remember, we kind of were looking at this one competitor who seemed to be doing great, even though he had a fulfilled by merchant listing and he was consistently there at the top and had almost no competition. Well, we were able to kind of deduce what keywords were bringing him sales. So that was the first group of keywords that I was like, hey, if we're going to be able to sell this product, we need to rank for these keywords. Now, as you know, you just throw up a product. If I just make a mason jar product and somebody types mason jar, I'm not going to come up on page 1. I mean, I probably won't even come up in the first 7 pages. Now, the beauty about Coffin Shelf is that there's so few people that even have Coffin Shelf in their listing that immediately I'm probably going to be in the top 7 pages. But what I did was like, hey, I want to see how our launch is working. The PPC, the organic conversions, and what kind of money I'm putting into it, right? Because if you're going to put money into your launch, whether it's PPC or whether it's whatever method you're using, you want to know if it's working. So I only started with about 10 keywords here, but I've kind of expanded it as my PPC went on. But the very first keywords that I put in here were those keywords that I thought, hey, we might get sales. What do you think is the number one keyword that I was like, hey, we're probably going to need this to be on page 1 for this keyword?
Yeah, Coffin Shelf.
Coffin Shelf. Let's take a look at that, all right? So this keyword has 1,800 estimated searches per month. Now, I'm going to take away, I'm actually tracking the competitors here. I'm going to take that away just so we can see where we were when we started. So you guys can see here, when we first launched this product from day 1, we were not even on page 1. But unlike other categories, we were already ranking in the first few pages. Like here's maybe position 84, I might have been on page 3, page 2, something like that. But all I did was PPC on this keyword. Look what happened, like barely 5-6 days into this. I'm on position, what do you see here? 5, 2, 4, 3, and now steady for like the last week or so. What do you see here?
Position 1 and 2.
Position 1 and 2.
Now remember, when we said all we did was some PPC, that's literally all we did. And remember, if we go back to our PPC tests, we knew that this was going to be low competition, and we knew that the search volume is there. Remember, if we go back to Keyword Tracker, it's saying that one keyword, Coffin Shelf, had about 1,800, 1,600, 1,700 searches a month, right? That's what we're looking for. Everything keeps showing us that those kind of assumptions that we made were true, that we could absolutely do this. So just a little PPC. We already knew what the PPC cost was going to be. This wasn't going to cost us much. And we're automatically, like instantly almost, just within a few days, position 1, position 2.
Take a look at this too. How did we get here? Well, I'm going to show you guys how I created the PPC ones, but let's just see the PPC results. Here on Keyword Tracker, we also have a graph of the PPC position that Helium 10 detects, just like the organic position. And then you can see right here, let me, actually first thing, I was about to say, let me take out the competitors. What do you notice here?
There's no competitors.
The competitors aren't even running PPC. I was literally the only one running PPC on this keyword. So that just, by definition, almost put me there on the first page. So you can see here that consistently, our product was the number 1 product that shows up even under PPC. Now, just some of what we said, if you guys are being stubborn and not going back and watching the other episodes that we told you, this is just the first episode you're watching. Some of this vocabulary we're talking about, organic position, PPC position, might be a little bit strange to you. So let me just take everybody right now to Coffin Shelf. I can actually click here on Amazon and let's show you what we're talking about. So this is a search, as you guys can see, of Coffin Shelf. Now, why can explain the difference for them? Let's go ahead and see if we can zoom in on here. Now, Tim, can you show them here what's the difference? Why do we have 2 listings right there?
Yeah, because this one is sponsored and this is our organic. Now, a lot of people ask, like, why would we have a PPC ad running for the same thing we're ranking position number 1? Because if I'm a buyer, I'm just going to click on the first one, right? And there is something to be said for that. Right now, we're going to continue running the PPC because that's giving us a little ranking juice, so to speak. But if you've been selling this product for 2 or 3 months, you can go ahead and turn off the PPC for this most likely because there's no point in having it. We're going to keep it there just because it's a brand new listing. We don't want anything to fall. But now that we're kind of in position 1 for, historically 2 or 3 weeks, maybe another couple weeks we would actually kill this PPC campaign. All right, so now that we're talking about keywords, keep this in mind. When we started this, the optimization to index for keywords, and we talked about the first keywords you're going to run for PPC, how many keywords did we have?
I don't remember.
It was like 10, like no more than 10. But what's interesting, if you look at this, we have a ton of keywords. And where these keywords are coming from is Amazon actually giving us more indexing juice, right? And when they give us that indexing juice, they kick it out in things like PPC results. So we have actually, over the last 30 days or less than 30 days, found additional keywords with search volume that we didn't even know existed before. So like as we continue, it keeps getting better. So remember the term coffin shelf. Right now it's estimating 1,800 searches a month, and the impressions we got with our PPC campaigns, we knew that was gonna be about right. And that's what we said. We don't want to have one search term have too much volume, but start to add this up. I mean, start to add up how much volume we can have. So what's interesting is, we talked about not needing a ton of search volume per keyword. All right, coffin shelf had 1,800, 1,700 search results. But remember I said, that little triangle, remember the pyramid analogy? You said we add all these up, the numbers can get big. Add up all of these numbers that we are on page 1 or page 2 for, okay? So even like position 18, position 32, like position 32, we would have never thought coffin ring box, like we know that's not gonna be great. Position 18 for cardboard coffin, it's not even relevant. We're still on page 1 for it, right? So add up all of these search terms, and this is where we get into a few thousand. This is exactly what we wanted to happen. This is exactly what we said would happen. And none of these page results are so competitive that anybody's gonna notice what we're doing. We're flying right under the radar, but we're on page 1 for like literally several thousand searches a month.
Yeah. So how did we get this list expanded beyond what we knew was going to convert, which was coffin shelf and coffin shelves? All right. We ran some PPC campaigns. And here's the thing. In the beginning, you might lose money or break even, if you're lucky, on PPC. All right. You might see what's called ACoS. What's ACoS mean?
Average cost of sale.
Maybe it's over 100%, meaning of course you're not only losing, you're not only not breaking even, but you're losing money when you're spending more than your product is even netting. But that's okay. You're paying for information.
It's an investment.
I would never have known that coffin ring box is something, and there's some other words. Let me show you guys what I did so that I had these campaigns running and was able to discover these keywords that apparently are relevant to our buyers, but that weren't relevant to Tim or I. All right, let's go here. I use the Helium 10 PPC tool, and what I'm gonna look here is under the analytics. What I did was I created, like we talked a little bit in the last episode, I created 3 different campaigns. I created what's called a proven campaign. And in that, I had keywords that I knew was going to work for us. I had keywords in the research campaign. These were some of the longer tail ones, or ones that I wasn't sure, maybe not as super hyper relevant to the coffin shelf. And then I did an auto campaign, which again means Jeff Bezos, you take the wheel and you go tell me what you think I should advertise for, and you go ahead and advertise me for it. So we have spent so far, a pretty penny here, $161 in 1 month. For some people, I call that a pretty penny, but for some of the big players out there, that's like their half a day spend for like one campaign, right? But look, first of all, we did not lose money necessarily on this. We got $424 worth of sales. Now, what's the actual value? And this is actually Tim's like looking at this. This is the first time that he has ever even seen our PPC tool right now. He doesn't even have this on his account yet. But I'm gonna go and show you guys some of the search terms that were performing for us over the last 30 days, all right? So we've got here under Gothic Decor was performing. We had talked about that keyword a little bit in our keyword research, because Gothic Decor was kind of how we found this product from, Pinterest?
Yeah, and Gothic Decor, remember, is one of those higher search volume keywords. It was like 8,000 searches. Like Gothic Decor is our castle, right? Gothic Decor is where we would try to intentionally attack after we had like kind of gained the beach and got a foothold there.
Yes. So that has got us some sales. Some other ones.
And that came from auto campaigns.
Yeah, that's right. That came from auto campaigns. All right. Now take a look at this. We've got coffin decor. Like I knew maybe Gothic Decor did something, but we never talked about a keyword coffin decor. We spent a grand total of 69 cents on that keyword, and we got $50 worth of sales for a cost of 1.38%. I mean, that's insane. Like, this is not normal, guys, but that's what happened with Project X right here.
And a ton of you that are established sellers are probably laughing at us. So like, what kind of good luck did these jokers fall on to find this product with this average A-cost? Look, when you find the right products, this just happens, right? This just happens. And we're only in the first few weeks. So imagine we start targeting more and more keywords and we get better sales rank, and this thing keeps growing, because this thing will keep growing, right? And our average A-cost is a little high because we've got a few that didn't perform well. But of course, we're gonna tone those down anyways. But imagine just doing this over 10 products, right? Could you imagine having an A-cost of like 2, 3, 4, 5%? Like, that's unheard of.
It's unheard of. Now, what else did we start ranking for? We got a sale. This was from an auto campaign. Mammy's coffin shelf. How many people? One person clicked on it and they converted. We got a 100% conversion rate on Mammy's coffin shelf. Like, we would never have known to advertise. We spent 15 cents on that with a 0.6 A-cost, guys. These numbers are ridiculous. All right. We've got Gothic home decor. Coffin bookshelves. Like, I didn't think about maybe books, for it, but hey, we were making sales off of that keyword too. So guys.
But look at the spend on even stuff we didn't convert on.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff, the spend was ridiculous. 60 cents, 53 cents, 44 cents. So this is a lot of keywords, and this is why we run auto campaigns, all right? We've talked so much about the manual exact campaigns, and those are for the testing and the analytics, and that's how we'd start. But remember, we talked about in PPC setup, maybe 2 or 3 weeks in, running this auto campaign just to see what happens. And this is what happened. We get, sales and conversions for these super cheap things. We start converting better on our original keywords. We get some sales, but also remember, it gives us information. So now we know that there are keywords with decent search volume, it's 600, 800, 900 search volume just per keyword we didn't even know existed.
Yeah. So now, here's the thing. Gothic decor. We knew that could be relevant, and we saw some positive things in our PPC results. Now, it wasn't just completely like earth-shattering, like a 0.6 A-cost. It was something like 40%. So what I wanted to do now, Gothic decor was probably a keyword that had some of the most search volume. It almost could be for this niche. That almost could be considered one of the castle keywords.
This is like I think that this is one of the final objective keywords, and throughout this whole case study, I never really planned on targeting it yet. Like, we had talked about targeting, the coffin shelves and the bookshelf coffins, and, the coffin shelves and those things. But Gothic decor seemed much broader. And remember, it had like search volume between 8,000 and 9,000, which is a little higher than we would feel comfortable to stay like in that very easy to launch criteria.
Yes. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to do a little experiment, because again, there's, like we talked about in the last episode, there's lots of different ways to launch. Some people just do PPC, like they just go really hard on PPC, not with $167 spent, but they go way wider, and then they're able to get to page 1. But I wanted to show you guys another method that we talked about, which is the search, find, buy method. Now, I don't have the time or the resources to just go out and get a bunch of people to go search for this and buy it for me, right? So what I did was I used a service. Now, the service I used was both of our good buddies, Isabella. She's got a service called RankBell. You can see it at rankbell.com. And basically, she has a group of buyers where we can tell them, hey, we want your buyers to go out and purchase this product after searching for. Now, interesting thing, what I did, I actually did not target Gothic decor. I went a little bit farther, and that's kind of a long tail keyword that's shorter, if that makes sense. It's called goth decor. I saw that was maybe trending, and I figured, hey, if I can get some traction for goth decor, which only had 1,600 searches, then either number A, I know it's going to work for Gothic decor.
Did you say number A?
Number A, or letter 1, it would work for Gothic decor as well, or at least I would have more confidence in going after and spending money on Gothic decor. So that's a very key thing. You guys will always have different tier of like castle words, all right? I would not recommend going for the number 1, the letter 1, word right off the bat. Go with maybe a longer tail version of that keyword a little bit to see how you do. Then take the confidence that, do you agree with that, Tim?
Yeah, and long tail doesn't necessarily mean longer. It often does, but in this example, it's actually shorter. The reason that we're considering like Goth Decor is more of a tier 2 keyword, like bottom of the pyramid, is just because search volume, only 1,600. So Goth Decor maybe had 1,600 searches a month, where Gothic Decor had between 7,000 and 9,000, right? So we weren't intentionally targeting Gothic Decor, but we did a giveaway of just a few units.
Yeah, I have here in my notes, let me zoom in. Here, I used Rank Bell for 11 units. I did that over 4 days. So I was like, hey, please get some people to buy, to search, find, and buy our product. Like I think day 1 was like 3 units, day 2, 3 units, day 4, 4 units, or something like that, right? And let me show you guys the graph of what happened with just 11 units, all right? By the way, you can see the green and the black are our competitors' products, the Sourpuss, all right?
Yep.
They were the only ones pretty much selling, all right? Let me just take off their listings just so we can only see ours, okay? So you can see at the beginning, we were just like sometimes not even ranked at all, and it was around 300, 200, 294, all right? So then I went and did it's not really a giveaway, the search, find, buy. We did the search, find, buy around this time period, and boom, we got to page 1, position 14, position 1, and now nonstop, it's either 1 or 2 of Goth Decor.
So last episode, we talked about being able to put any product on page 1 if we really wanted to. Now, it's gonna be a lot of money, it's gonna be a lot of effort, and it's probably not going to stay there. Remember, those rockets fall. But if it does stay there because we've done our job right, we call that
sticking the landing. And that is exactly what we see here. We did this like a week ago, but look, we have stayed consistently on page 1 for Goth Decor. And let me just show you guys that right now. Let's do a live search on Amazon, Goth Decor. So what do we see right here on Goth Decor? It is page 1, position 1. Now, here is the unintended consequence that happened for this. Now remember, this is the only outside money, outside of PPC, that we have spent just getting 11 people to search, find, and buy for this. So we paid Rank Bell for that, right? That's it, all right? But now I was like, okay, I have a good confidence that we're gonna rank for Gothic Decor too, all right?
And remember, Gothic Decor is the keyword that we weren't even gonna target because we thought it was a little bit outside the realm of possibilities now. Like we were thinking this will be 30, 45, 60 days from now, we'll work on Gothic Decor because that search volume is so high and it's more competitive.
Okay, and that one has 6,300 searches per month, all right, estimated. Let's go ahead and click on the graph and let's show you what happened. All right, we see a lot of our competitors on here. Let's take away the competitors. We got to page 1, position 1 as well for Gothic Decor. And I didn't even spend 1 cent on this keyword. So what happens is sometimes there's what's called like the honeymoon period. For newer listings, they get some extra love from Amazon. What does that mean? That means, let's say you start performing well for a keyword on Amazon. What Amazon is doing is like, wow, look at this up-and-comer here. They're doing great for this keyword, Goth Decor. You know what? Our algorithm recognizes that Gothic Decor is related. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and let's bump them up there and see how they do. And look at this, we're on page 1, position 1 for Gothic Decor too.
And the reason that happened is not because of a hack, a trick, a manipulation necessarily that we did. We found a product that was in demand with low competition. That's it. That's all we did. All of these like cool position 1, like indicators on here and all our low A costs, this all comes from not gaming the system. So this is like all of this effort that we put in a long time ago. Remember that the first episodes, episode 2, 3, whatever episodes they were, we were researching, we were looking at Pinterest, we're looking for items that are not on Amazon, that have demand on Amazon. We're using the keyword tools to figure out low competition. The PPC test that we did, remember, we eliminated some products, the burrito blankets, the seed things that looked good on paper, but because we put in the work and tested those things and validated them, we eliminated them. And that left us with winners like this, these products that are very, very profitable for us, that fly under the radar, that we're literally ranking on like 24 page 1s and accidentally even ranking on like these castle keywords, like the objective keywords. So what that means here is it was so easy to get there. Eventually, it might take another couple months before we're ready for this, but we might attack. Remember I was talking last episode about like even further objectives, like let's start looking at actual home decor. right? Home decor is so much volume. Even if it land on page 4 for home decor or 5 for home decor, like that's massive traffic and massive number of eyeballs. So literally it's even going better than we even speculated it would.
Yeah. So to sum it all up, what we've done, and again, this has only been live for about 3.5, 4 weeks. Here, Keyword Tracker is telling me that of the keywords that I had put in here, 16 of them, I'm already in the top 10, all right? And of those top 10 keywords, that has a total search volume of 16,000. You know, somebody could spend $500 on some giveaway or something like that trying to get to page 1 of a keyword that's got 16,000 search volume, and they could totally fail. But here we did 11 units, search, find, buy. We spent $150 on PPC, and we got top 10 keywords, total of 16,000 search volume, monthly search volume.
Unbelievable. Guys, it really works.
All right, let's go over some things that we've had set up here that's very important. You know, it's not all unicorns and rainbows with Amazon, okay? This is, you know, there's a lot of good vibes here, obviously, but some things that could happen is like people could hijack our listing. Somebody could come on and change the title. Somebody could come on and change the image or change the dimensions. Now, the dimensions is actually something that's kind of serious about this product. This product is kind of a larger product. So if we got any on a higher, shipping weight or shipping size, weight because of the size, what's that called? Dimensional weight, right?
Volumetric weight.
Volumetric weight. You know, we could all of a sudden lose our profit margins because somebody at one of Amazon's, warehouses remeasured it wrong or something, right? So we don't want to scare you, but these things could happen. So what we have here is alerts. What I did as soon as we got this product set up, I set up alerts. Now, what is alerts doing? Alerts is checking on a daily basis, if we get new reviews, if somebody changes it to an adult product. You know, sometimes people, in order to hijack another one, if it gets classified as an adult product, then what's going to happen is you're not searchable anymore under your coffin shelf because that's an adult keyword. We're telling you if somebody changes something with the images. Like, let me see if there's actually been anything happen on the event history right here. Oh shoot! I didn't even notice this. We gotta check this. They are saying that instead of 4 inches by 14 inches by 7 inches, they did change. When was this? A couple weeks ago, they changed it. So we got to make sure that we're not getting a new fee. That is something that I definitely want to take a look. Here I'm talking. This is the first time I'm actually looking at this, guys. So this is exactly what we don't want to see. So how can I know if we got charged differently? All right. Well, we would have seen the fee difference. I don't think we did get charged differently. We would have seen the fee difference. But you can go into the profitability calculator on Helium 10 and it'll tell you, oh yeah, this is what you should have been paying if it was this dimensions. But this is exactly what could happen. Amazon goes in and changes freaking dimensions sometimes.
And if you weren't using tools like this, you'd never know that. So that's where we're showing you this. All of these tools, they're not fun, they're not sexy, they're not interesting to go in and have to do all this kind of maintenance and tracking. The launching is fun and watching the keyword tracker is fun. But things like this alerts tool are absolutely imperative to keep your business running and make sure that you're not getting hosed in some way.
All right, the next thing I had made sure to set up was our profits tool, which goes and tells me, hey, how much money am I making? Now, usually, again, the first month or two, you're not breaking a profit just because you're investing a lot into PPC in order to get the data out, right? But here we can actually see that we're already breaking a profit here. I put in my cost, I put in the cost to ship it and everything here. And what profits is doing is telling me how much I'm selling per day. It's calculating my PPC costs and other expenses, any storage charges, and it is telling me what the profit breakdown is. I can actually see the sales history too of it day by day, what the product is. We actually had a day on here where we sold 12 of these things in one day. That's crazy. So total gross sales in those 11, let me do this quarter. In those first 3 to 4 weeks of sales, we have grossed over $3,000 on this one product, guys.
That we just launched.
Without
crazy manipulation, without crazy PPC spend. It just kind of happened.
Crazy, guys. All right,
so another thing that we did is we launched this, is we had to worry about reviews, okay? We talked about the early reviewer program, and then we also talked about maybe asking for reviews. And right now, we talked about in the last episode, Amazon's changing things up, but as of now, as of filming today, you can still ask for reviews. Now, it has to be perfectly within terms of service compliance, and we are typically doing that through follow-up emails. And Amazon allows us to send up to 3 emails to every customer only one of which we're allowed to ask for a product review, okay? So you can use a program like Follow Up, which is one of the tools embedded into Helium 10. Set up a sequence. There's a ton of great templates in there that you can check out and examples of how to do that. One thing that we've noticed is sometimes if there's a product problem, all right, the product is broken, and they get that email, they can actually go through the email and rate us as a seller. And a lot of the buyers on Amazon don't understand there's a difference between a seller review and a product review. And I have actually gotten bad product reviews as a seller. They're like, oh, this is broke. And of course, we'll take care of it. We'll send a new one. But because it's a product review as a seller, Amazon will just delete it. So we're not getting bad reviews on our product. We're kind of catching in that net. And it's all because of the follow-up email sequences. Again, check out the follow-up tool. Look at the templates. Look at the instruction that this guy does on how to use that. It's going to be a really, really big piece of your launch and your growth for each ASIN.
So now we're not done yet. I mean, like I said, this listing is still brand new. We actually haven't even launched the egg tray yet. That actually, real quick, let's tell them what happened with that one.
Yeah, everything is subject to little hiccups. Don't be frustrated. I see people on their first product, one little hiccup happens, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna fail at this thing. No, don't panic. The egg trays were actually held up in customs in the US. They came in, got pulled for a random inspection because it was a new product and a new number coming in, and they just got held up. So that's why we went ahead and launched the coffin shelves, and the egg trays we should have probably next week or so, and we'll go ahead and launch those. And the next episode, you'll be able to see some of the results from that. But don't panic, things happen, it's all part of the game. If it was super easy, not everybody would do it. So we just kind of take the punches and roll with them.
Yeah, so guys, we're gonna show you some more results even from the coffin shelf. You know, we have not reached the peak potential, I think, of what this product can do. I mean, we're already on page 1 on some of the main keywords, but there might be some other keywords that we're gonna go after. We're gonna optimize the PPC so our margins, our profit margins are even better. We're gonna do this whole entire process right again with that wooden egg tray to see how that does, and we're gonna show you those results in the next episode. But again, guys, from the very, very first episode, we had told you success means different things to different people, all right? If you get in this mindset that I'm not successful unless I have a Lamborghini, well, you're setting yourself up for failure. This to us, I would call this a success.
This is success. It's easy. We can do this over and over and over and over and over again. And sometimes we'll find products that don't, like index for bigger keywords. We'll have products that like this that just accidentally do really, really well. But for me, I see a lot of people like in my coaching program and in the networks that I'm in tell me like, hey, Tim, I just want to make a car payment. That's all I'm gonna do. Like, I want to pay my mortgage. I want to have some money to save for my kids' college. Of course, there's other people that want to make $10,000 and $15,000 and $50,000 a month, and that's possible too. But the vast majority of people just want to make a little extra money to start off with and then grow it. And this is how you do it. You do it one little step at a time. This isn't a $50,000 investment. You have literally seen how much money we invested just in the coffin shelves. We're only a few $1,000s in. That's it. And now we've already made $500 of that back in 3 weeks. And we still have like 400 units of inventory left. Yep. Remember, we bought 500. So just on this one product, we're going to end up very profitable. We could double or triple our inventory, and it's just going to keep growing from here. This is exactly what I call success.
In the next and last, believe it or not, episode of Project X, we are going to show you the complete results of both the coffin shelf and the wooden egg tray, and to show you guys exactly what happened. The egg tray, we have no idea what's going to happen because we haven't even launched that yet. But we're going to show exactly what happened there and how we're maintaining the coffin shelf listing. And hopefully, our hopes is that at the end of this, regardless of the results, you guys are inspired by this and can see how if you follow a formula, right, guys, if you follow the formula, it works. These things work. Now, there are hiccups that happen along the way, like what happened with the axe. We couldn't launch the axe because of, what was that? Why couldn't we launch the axe?
It was
again?
like a anti-dumping duty and an import compliance and all that stuff that happens.
Things get held up in customs, like the egg tray, all right? But then something works great like the coffin shelf, and I'm hoping that the egg tray is gonna work great too. So we hope that we're inspiring you guys throughout this whole series to maybe take that leap of faith and jump in there, but follow the formula, guys. It works.
And what's really interesting for me is most of what we've done has been kind of top secret. And this has gone over a fairly long period of time, as you guys can imagine. And really the only people that have seen this information are the Helium 10 employees. And the Helium 10 employees are pretty savvy. Like, they know what's up and coming. And I can't tell you how many of these employees have come to me and been like, oh my gosh, just listening in on like the video editing, we've completely changed the way we're doing things. Like, We're super excited to hear your feedback. Again, any comments that you have, post below, but also remember, Fridays we have a live AMA. So this Friday we'll have a live AMA. Me and this guy will be on there. We're going to be answering any questions. We'd love to hear, if you've used some of these methods. We'd love to hear how your mindset has changed watching what we've done and using some of these ideas. Again, this is not a cookie cutter approach. Remember, there's a million ways to skin a cat, right? There's a million ways to do this. So don't follow this as gospel truth. It's like, I need to go through this exact thing. We've showed you so many different ways that it can work that you should have a million different ideas of how to do it yourself now.
Okay, so one last question of the day I like for you guys. For those of you out there who have watched all 13 episodes so far, I would like to know what has been the most eye-opening thing, whether you're an experienced Amazon seller or whether you have never sold one product on Amazon. What has blown your mind the most out of any of the previous episodes? Make sure to put it below and I'll be sure to talk about some of those on this week's AMA. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Bradley Sutton. I'm joined by
Tim Jordan.
This has been episode 13 of Project X.